Hey, it's Scott with Great Resources for Coaches. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about your impact and your influence and the impact that you're having on your kids' lives. But I'm not talking about the impact you're having on your kids' lives right now. I'm talking about the impact you're having on your kids' lives 20, 30, 40 years from now. I might be thinking, Scott, I don't know what that impact's going to be. And of course, none of us do. But what are you doing to set yourself up so that your kids feel your impact as they make their way on through life? I bring this up and I mentioned 20, 30, 40 years because I just got back from my 40-year high school reunion this past weekend. It's hard to believe I'm even saying that. It was a lot of fun, great to see old friends, some friends who I hadn't seen in actually 40 years. And there were all kinds of stories, as will happen at those kinds of events, and all kinds of reminiscences. But one of the things I noticed was when we would reminisce and talk about former teachers and coaches and the impacts that they had on us, how often there was a kind of a twinkle in somebody's eye as they were talking about something that a teacher or coach said that totally changed the direction that some of these well, now adults, 58-year-old adults, the direction that their lives went. And it was so powerful to listen to the stories of certain things that teachers said, certain things that coaches did that led somebody down a path. And sometimes I'm going to assume those teachers and coaches have no idea that what they said and did meant so much to my friends who were telling those stories. It also got me thinking about me, and it got me thinking about you. What are you doing? What am I doing every day with our kids to help make sure that we're having that kind of an impact on them and we're having that kind of an impact on their lives so that 20, 30, 40 years from now, they're looking back saying and thinking those exact same things that myself and my friends were saying. You know, and the thing that kept coming back time and time again in the stories was not certain lessons or certain plays that we ran or whatever, nothing like that. But always it came back to how our teacher, how our coach made us feel. The power that their words had over us, the way they made us feel good about ourselves, the way they pushed us. Sometimes some of my friends, it wasn't that they loved their coach necessarily, they loved that their coach drove them to become the best version of themselves that they could be. There were all kinds of different stories. But one of the things I really noticed was it over and over again, how a teacher and how a coach treated a kid was the most important factor and the most important determinant as to the impact that teacher and coach had on that kid, again, now an adult. And it really got me thinking. I need to make sure that I'm constantly focused on what am I saying, what am I doing, how am I treating my students, my athletes, my players. You know, and I think this is a critical piece for any of us in the education world. Understand that your impact is not just for this school year, for this season. Your impact is going to go so much farther than that. And so make sure that we're doing all that we can to make that lasting impact be a positive one. So that 20, 30, 40 years from now, when your former students and former athletes are talking at their reunion about you, they're talking about what a positive, powerful, great impact you had on them and how much they loved having you as their teacher or coach. This is Scott once again with Great Resources for Coaches. Do me a favor, and I'd love if you'd share this one with others, with other teachers or coaches. Maybe even share it with one of those teachers or coaches who had a great impact on you in your life and whose legacy you've kind of carried on as you've made your way through your life. We'll talk to you next week.